Hey, what's up, Guardians? TBL here, coming back at you with another quick Destiny video for today. Now, this video isn't so much going to be a rant, it's just going to be a pretty short little talk about how I feel about Sunbreakers and the Sunbreaker class as a whole. Or more specifically, the Sunbreaker Super and how it performs in PvP. Now, hold on. I could hear that audible groan from a mile away. Oh no, TBL's going to be complaining about stuff. But yeah, not really. Just giving my thoughts and opinions on how the class fares in PvP specifically. I have been playing around with it a little bit here. The gameplay you guys are seeing here is just a normal Clash mode where I'm playing on my Sunbreaker, which admittedly I don't do very often. I mean, you guys know me. I'm a Warlock main for life. And back before the Taken King came out, it was pretty much either I was in the Crucible as a Warlock or as a Gunslinger. You know, I was pretty decent with Voidwalker and Sunsinger in the Crucible. But for Hunters, really the only class that I could really get the hang of was Gunslinger with Golden Gun. I got pretty good with that class, which is kind of weird considering how powerful Blade Dancer was in year 1 of Destiny. Literally, get your super and press R1. Well, now it seems kind of like the Sunbreaker is in that position, as it's easily the class with the strongest super, at least in PvP right now. And as expected, it's caused its fair share of salt within the Destiny community. You know, you can't go a day without hearing somebody say, "Oh, nerf the Sunbreakers, they're way too strong." Also, I am not a crook, as he's sitting there fraudulently holding his Blade Dancer's Arc Blade with Quick Draw and Blink equipped. But yeah, so you know, the big question is, are Sunbreakers OP? Are they busted, and do they need to be addressed? Well, the too long didn't read version of this video is, yes, kind of, but only really a little bit. The thing about Sunbreakers is that the entire class's performance in PvP revolves around its super. You know, it is a very, very powerful super. It's essentially Golden Gun with a few extra shots, plus armor, plus healing. Which I think everybody who plays can agree makes for a very potent combination that can be a little bit unfair sometimes. But beyond that, the class isn't really all that special inside the Crucible. You know, when we put that aside, we have to take a look at the Sunbreakers neutral game, which is basically how the class performs sans the super. And really, when we take a look at that, the neutral game on the Sunbreaker isn't really that great. I mean, they have fusion grenades, which are pretty good for PvP. Their melee attacks you can essentially ignore because Titan melees in the Crucible are just absolutely terrible. Skating is of course a great thing, but that's available on pretty much all the Titan classes. And the rest of the big perks are really all tailored towards the super, and you only get benefits from them after you've popped that big Hammer of Saul. So, that being the case, let's talk about the Hammer of Saul, as I am absolutely tearing through a team here. This is the strength of the class. With Hammer of Saul up, you can literally tear through entire teams of Guardians, and it's really because of 3 specific strengths that this super has. 1, it's got incredibly high armor. When you pop this super, you're capable of surviving headshots from sniper rifles, a golden gunshot, Blade Dancer hits, and fusion grenades among other things. Seriously, the amount of armor you get when you're in Hammer of Saul is just absolutely unreal, and personally I think that's the biggest problem with the class. But we'll get on that later. The next big strength is of course the perk Cauterize, which allows you to heal to full health and full overshield whenever you get a kill. Or more specifically, whenever you get a kill with your flames, which Hammer of Saul counts as. So, say you find yourself surrounded by a couple of enemies, you pop your Hammer of Saul, they all start team-shotting you, you're low, you're in the red, you get 1 kill, boom, you're back to max health with a full overshield. That is a great ability, and it's incredibly powerful in the PvP atmosphere. And the final really good strength of the Sunbreaker super is basically Titan mobility in and of itself. With skating, you can cross incredibly large distances in no time flat. Meaning that even if you're going up against Guardians who are smart enough to simply run away from you, which is exactly what you should do whenever you hear that clank from the Hammer of Saul, unless you're a Striker Titan with a Fist of Panic ready or a Warlock with a Nova Bomb. But even if those Guardians run, you still have a pretty good chance of catching up to them because of the skating ability. So, all that together is really what makes the Hammer of Saul just so good for PvP. It basically turns you into a very highly mobile living tank. A weapon, if you will, to surpass Metal Gear. Hey, you know, the surprising thing about this, In all honesty, I'm mostly okay with the class being the way it is, and of course other Guardians have their own ideas for why they think the Sunbreaker is broken. Some people think it's cauterize, other people think it's the sheer number of hammers that you get, which fluctuates between about 5 to 7 based on whether or not you have the perk that grants you extra hammers. But me, personally, I think the one really big glaring problem with the Sunbreakers that really makes it OP is simply the armor that you get when you've got it active. Honestly, I think that's about the only thing that needs to be changed. It shouldn't take an entire fire team of Guardians team-shotting you to bring you down with your super. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, well, no, cauterize is really the problem here. Cauterize wouldn't matter so much if it didn't take 2 rockets, a pulse rifle shot, a fusion grenade, and a lucky headshot from a sniper to finally take down a Guardian who had popped Hammer of Saul. You see, cauterize is more a symptom of the problem here. Being able to heal based off your flame kills is definitely very powerful, but it wouldn't really matter so much if you had the armor of, say, a golden gun user. The reason why cauterize seems so busted is because it heals you back to full, and then you've got that full Hammer of Saul armor on that makes you near invulnerable to most conventional attacks. It's not the fact that you get your health back, it's the fact that you get all that armor back and that the armor is that high to begin with. When you can just brush off shots from grenades and melees and double teams like that, that's kind of a problem. And it's one I think that would probably be solved if Hammer of Saul simply didn't have as much armor as it currently does. Other than that, I think the class is fine as is, cauterize and all. Shoot, I wish cauterize would get added to the Gunslinger and Sunsinger perk tree, because it's a really good ability, but not really what breaks the class, at least in my opinion. And I know your opinion is probably different, and I'd love to read it in the comment section below. So be sure to let me know what you guys think. But alright, that's going to be about it for this video, guys. Again, I just wanted to get out some of my thoughts about the Sunbreaker class. You know, give you guys some insight on the thoughts and observations that I've been having as I've been playing as the class. It's definitely a lot of fun, and it's definitely a great super. And it's going to be interesting seeing how Bungie handles the class as it moves forward. But alright, I think I've complained about enough about Sunbreakers. That's going to be it for this one, guys. If you liked what you saw here, do feel free to check out my channel where you can find a ton more Destiny Taken King videos coming out soon, as well as some Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Less than 1 day away, baby. Can't wait for it. But alright, I'm out for now. As always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.